I have been working on the Cloud sweater by Petite Knit, and I am so close to finishing it. I only have about 3/4 of one of the sleeves left, and then I also have the collar. And I'm looking forward to about 6 hours in the car over the next 24 hours, and I really feel like I'm gonna have time to get it done. At least the sleeve, if not the sleeve and the collar. We are going out of town for the night. We've got friends that are playing a show a couple hours away. And to be honest, I forgot it was happening and then didn't plan on going. And kind of last minute, we decided to just book a hotel room and stay for the night, get out of town. So I'm really, really excited about doing that. I am not really a spontaneous person, so it's like kind of against my nature to just like pack up and leave, but I'm really looking forward to it. So I just got home from work. I took a shower. I need to pack up the car. I need to get my stuff together and get ready to go. We're leaving in about maybe an hour or so. And I'm really excited, number one, to see my friends and to just like do something out of the norm. But I'm also looking forward to getting some like good knitting in. So I think that I'm gonna have plenty of time to get working on it and hopefully finish it. I would really like to finish it on this week because I've got a lot of stuff that I need to do as far as like Christmas knitting, and I've got other projects on my mind. So I've been working on this one for, I think it's been about a little over a month, so it's going really, really fast. It's only my second like full-size sweater that I've made. So I feel like I learned a lot between my first sweater, which took me easily 4 months because I was intimidated by it and going really slow. But I'm going a lot faster on this one. I feel like I used to not ever want to like go on just like long trips, but ever since I started knitting, it's like I'm not thinking about car rides in terms of like hours sitting in the car or miles driven. It's just about like how much can I get done knitting, and it is like it's changed my world a little bit. It's definitely reframed the way that I think about a trip and a road trip. Well, I'm back from our trip, and it was a really fun time. I had a great time, but I did not finish my sweater the way that I thought that I might. I think I overestimated how fast I was gonna do it, and I underestimated how tired I was gonna be on the drive home, and I just did not get there the way that I expected that I would. It was a really, really fun trip. I'm very glad that I went, but I am exhausted. We got up there, had a great time, slept for 4 hours, I think, and then turned around, drove back, and went to work. And I am very sleepy today. Let me show you what I have done, though. So here it is. I finished this arm. That was already done, though. And I am over halfway done with this arm. I really don't have much left on it at all. And then I'm doing like a little rolled turtleneck, but not like a super tall turtleneck on the neck. So I've got to start the neck and I've got to finish the sleeve. I feel like if I were to just sit down and do it and get it done, it wouldn't take very long at all. I really don't think so. But I thought that before I went on the trip too, so I don't know. I am down to this last ball of yarn, and it is steadily dwindling, so I think it'll be fine. I think I'll have enough, but I'm definitely starting to get into the realm of running out of yarn, and I'm trying to win the game here. But yeah, I think I'm too tired to keep working on it today. Like I said, I did get a lot done in the car, just not as much as I thought. But I'm kind of over it for today. I think I'm just gonna try and rest up from the trip and maybe get back at it tomorrow, but I don't know. I ended up working on my sweater a little bit last night. I didn't get very much done. I like sat down and thought that maybe I was gonna have like a second wind and not be too tired. And I got a few rows done, but I fell asleep in the middle of doing it. So I spent maybe 20 minutes working on it. So not really too much of anything, but I had a nice restful day today. I went to work, but it was a pretty easy day at work. And so I feel like I've got a lot of time to give some attention to some knitting. But I'm actually gonna work on something different today. I've got another video coming up. It's about making tiny little sweaters and keychains and making Christmas ornaments for people. And I've already made the first sweater for that video. And so I kind of want to work on some more of these. So this is a little preview to another video I'm working on. So I will be skipping knitting my sweater tonight, and I'm going to make tiny sweaters instead. But I do hope to keep working on my real sweater maybe tomorrow. I'm still working on finishing my second sleeve. I don't have too much left to do. I've got about one more repeat of the decrease section, and then I've got a little cuff section to do, and then I'll be done with it. Oop, I just dropped my stitch marker. Hang on. As I was saying, I have one decrease section left and one little bit of cuff left, and then I'll be done with the sleeve. And then at that point, I'll be ready to pick up the stitches for the neck, finish that off. So I really don't have too much left to do. Maybe a total of 1 to 2 hours, I would say, on the sleeve. And then I don't really know quite how long the neck is going to take me. I have done like pickup stitches for necks before. I don't know what it is. I had a really hard time the last time that I tried it. I felt like it just like looked really sloppy, and I'm hoping that I have improved as a knitter so that I'll have like an easier time this go around. But I would not be shocked if this ended up being a lot more time than I would prefer. All in all though, I do think that I will probably be done in the next several days, just depending on what else I've got going on. I do have a few days off coming up, so I would love to get it finished during my days off so that I can block it and then maybe have it to wear. We had sort of an unseasonably warm day today, so we're going to have a little fire out here tonight and enjoy the weather. But then starting tonight and I think tomorrow, it's going to start raining, it's going to get cold. It is unlikely to snow here. This is, we get snow maybe one time a year, and it's always in the dead of winter, not in the fall, definitely. Something that I have been thinking about as I've been working on this project is how I'm thinking about pacing my projects and how I'm thinking about my time usage on my projects. I am a new knitter, and so I think that the first year or so that I was knitting, I was just really excited to be working on new projects and new skills, and I was really, really interested in making as many things, not as fast as possible necessarily, but I really felt like I needed to build out the projects that I had made and experience making as many things as possible. And I found that I'm drawn to stockinette projects because it looks a lot like the stuff that I would want to wear. But when I actually go into making the stockinette projects, I like the first part of the project where I'm doing the back shaping and doing the shoulders and German short rows to shape the front. But then by the time that I get to the just stockinette around and around and around, it is nice at first, but then it gets to a point where I feel like I need to like hurry up and finish it, and I really want to rush through it and move on to something else. And I am trying to balance wanting to finish projects with enjoying taking the time. I don't feel like I have to race against the clock or anything when I'm doing this. I'm not stressing about finishing it in a certain time, but because it's just sort of mindless and just going around and around and around, I do feel like, oh, this shouldn't take me that long, or I just need to move on to the next part. So I think that's something that I'm trying to balance those tensions in my mind. And I do think that probably the next thing that I'll do, the next sweater that I make, this is the second stockinette sweater I've made. The first one was a raglan, and then this one is a drop shoulder. But I think that the next sweater that I make, or the next larger project that I make, I'll say, I want to do something that maybe forces me to slow down a little bit, and there's fewer just straight stockinette sections, like whether it's color work or whether there's more interesting textures going on or something, because I really like spending time on a project. I obviously like finishing projects too, but I think that there's something to not feeling the time pressure and just sitting down and knowing that it's going to take a while, and maybe you only get a little bit done at a time, but like it keeps you totally engaged. The other thing that I've been thinking about is how much I've been making. So I am a new knitter, like I've mentioned. And so anytime that I've like made a hat, or I've made a sweater, or I've made a scarf or socks, it's been my first pair of those things. And so I haven't gotten to the point where I feel like I'm making too much stuff, or that I need to like knit less or knit slower. But I am trying to be mindful, like when I pick out patterns, that I'm picking stuff that I want to make, but also stuff that like makes sense for me. So I don't want to just like knit for the sake of knitting unless I have, an intention for what I'm doing with it, whether it's going to be for me or it's going to be for a gift, or even just like a donation. I know a lot of people will donate hats or scarves or socks to donation centers, but listening back to this, I feel like it makes it sound like I don't believe in the value of making things without a functional purpose, and that is not what I meant to convey. What I'm more concerned about is not feeling pressured to produce things, and because I feel that pressure to start making stuff that I don't particularly want to make or wouldn't want to make outside of the pressure, and that I don't want to have and that I don't want to share with anybody. I think if somebody makes something that makes them happy while they're working on it and they're proud of it when they're done, it has already served its purpose, even if it isn't for somebody or for an intended use. Anyway, back to me. I don't know, that's just something that I have started to think about in relation to my projects, is not wanting to make just for the sake of making without having some sort of purpose for it, even if it's not necessarily for me. It's hard though, because I keep seeing all these like sock patterns and all these hat patterns, and it's like, okay, well, how many hats do I actually need? How many socks do I need? And yes, I can make them for other people and I can give them away, but like how many people actually want a hat for me? How many people are going to wear the hat for me? Just because I made it and I'm excited about giving it to somebody, like that doesn't mean that it's their style or it's what they want. And I've particularly seen a lot of things that look like they would be really fun to make, but I just have no idea who I would give them to, and I certainly wouldn't wear them. So if you've encountered this or you have any thoughts about this, please feel free to weigh in, because like I said, I don't think that I'm knitting enough to be there yet, but I could see that like down the line that I would be having a hard time figuring out what to make or what to do with the stuff that I have made. Good morning. Today is the day that I am finishing my sweater. I am so sure of it. I know it's going to happen. I just have to bind off the sleeve. I got to the end of it yesterday, and then I've got to do the collar, and that's not going to take me long at all because I am almost out of yarn. So that's on the docket for the day. I'm going to go for a run, use my muscles a little bit before I plop it on the couch and finish the project, but it's time. I'm finishing it. I finished my sweater. It's done. And that's a good thing because I only had about this much yarn left. So there was not too much else that I was going to be able to do. I ended up having to cut the collar a little bit shorter than the pattern called for because I was running out of yarn, and I did Jenny's surprisingly stretchy bind off for the collar because my gauge was a little bit tighter than the pattern and I was worried it was going to be too tight around my neck. I am hoping that once I block it, the sleeves will sort of loosen up a little bit, and particularly that the body will get a little bit longer. When I did my gauge swatch, it did loosen up, not a ton, but just a little bit. And I don't want this to be a super oversized sweater, but I would like it to have a little bit more of a drapey hang. I don't think I mentioned this earlier in the video, but the yarn that I used was Barocco Wizard in the color Labradorite. I think we'll see how it wears. It was not very hard to knit with, and the colors that this yarn comes in are really, really cool. Part of the reason I chose it is I thought this was just like such a unique and odd color combination. I don't know that I loved working with this yarn. It has a chainette construction, and I found that every time that I was working with it, if I had any dry skin on my hands, it would get caught to the yarn, or I was finding where my needles were poking into the yarn and pulling it out some. So I'm a little worried that this is not gonna hold up that well once I actually wear it. But as far as it goes, knitting with it was overall pretty nice. I'll see if I can sort of show you. You can see some spots where they got almost pilled a little bit while I was making it. And it's nothing major, and I kind of don't mind a little bit of more of a weirder textured or maybe a more rustic textured sweater. And I do plan to just wear it out and let it do what it does. Overall, the yarn was okay to work with, but I'm a little bit worried that it might be a little bit more delicate than I was expecting when I chose it. My sweater is done. I'm really happy with how it turned out. It's very, very comfy. The fit is exactly what I was looking for, where it's a little bit slouchy but not too oversized, and the yarn feels really great. I don't really think I could ask for more from this. This is an awesome second sweater project, and I'm excited to get moving with whatever my next project ends up being. Thank you so much for following along with me while I was working on this sweater, and I'll see you next time. Bye!